Hey, Charles, how you doing?
Hey, Rosemary, what's going on?
Well, I wanted to welcome you to my storage unit and, talk about being really a part of iHeartSF. I know we met the first couple of times and, it was like a meet and greet. And then the second time we really, got down and dirty and really start to understand, iHeartSF as a kind of like a big idea. But I know that you get it and you're very much, want to be a part of it. And I'm very excited to have you. And today I want to kind of take you like on a field trip of my brain. Yeah, a little tour of my brain, a little field trip. All aboard. And a little field trip of, what we got going on here and kind of where it's, where it's starting and what have you,
Okay.
So I'm 50 now. I turned 50 last year.
Hello.
Thank you. And I am about 3 years post-divorce. And so what you have here is we just recently sold our family home, and you have all of my stuff here. I'm kind of like in between. And this is now my storage unit for iHeartSF and our merchandise. And, we got all kinds. We got everything from socks to, custom jewelry. So it's really cool. But what started with a friend's tattoos of San Francisco landmarks has really turned into something beautiful. And I really just want you to kind of see where we're at. The merchandise is just part of it. It features augmented reality like you have here, something you've never really seen before.
Right, that's what I said earlier, like a barcode.
First of its kind, yeah.
First of its
kind. It does its thing, and it's on our website and what have you. But with the sales of the merchandise, along with the revenue from the advertising of the podcast called iHeartSF,
yes,
talking about all the beauty and wonderful things that are going on in San Francisco.
Right.
Exactly. That revenue, along with the domain, those 3 revenue streams are going to do something amazing. And this inspiration from these tattoos.
Yeah, visions.
Retail, very clear vision. We are going to be the first for-profit company to purchase old residential hotels and other properties in San Francisco. I'm going to renovate them. I'm going to turn them into transitional housing for homeless families, specifically with young children. Yeah,
single family mothers' homes,
all kinds. And we're going to be different. What I'm doing is
what's a different approach?
What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be writing the programs myself. As a teacher, as somebody who has educated many children, specifically kindergarten, somebody who has raised a child with Asperger's, one with ADHD. I really have that lived experience. I have my master's in education. So, I've written, a thesis on parent education. I've done a lot in my life. I've opened businesses and stuff. And what I want to do is approach the homeless population in San Francisco differently. We have a myriad of nonprofits. And they're doing a wonderful job. Don't doubt it. And they're really helping in the moment. But, as a native of San Francisco, as somebody who's seen what I call the before and after, there's a lot, who would probably agree with me that the homeless population is much different than it was years ago, say 20 years ago before.
A lot of resources, but a lot of lack of participation.
A lot, there's a lot of different things. And I want to approach the population in a more gentle way and in a kind way. And I want to hear their stories. And, I've done a lot of, volunteer work my entire life, but most recently, at Glide Memorial, where I did a lot of interaction with actually, homeless and low income and what have you. And there was a lot of storytelling. It was amazing, but I digress. What I'm trying to say is that iHeartSF and what I want to do is I want to purchase these buildings with cash. Cash is king.
Liquidation.
There's no moving around with the money because, with nonprofits, there's so much scandal. There's so much going on and what have you. But we're going to take the profits from these and we're going to buy these buildings. I'm going to make them beautiful again, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. And we're going to help these families, really become functioning members of society again. I'm going to teach them how to fish, for lack of a better word. So here's where it starts. And it starts with this beautiful merchandise. It's all, 100% cotton. We have a lot of varieties. I'm going to call this the new logo of the city. I have the Giants logo here, right?
I see it.
And when I was, trying to figure out my original art design, right? And artwork inside the logo and stuff. I actually thought that was the logo of the city. And when I was trademarking mine, I didn't realize it was the Giants logo. I was like, somebody belongs to somebody. And
you think it's the logo to see the orange and black.
it was no big deal. And so, when I realized I had to make my own design, and I went through, one thing or another, and this was actually one of them, my friend Alex that I met on Instagram, this was my first original, so this is the name, and I really love the drip of the graffiti art.
I like the drip of it. And this is new today, even though he probably did this years ago.
He did about a couple years ago,
And see, that's new today. Today,
I love it.
That's in now.
So so it started with different designs and stuff, and I love the graffiti drip. I want to be the new logo of the city.
Okay.
I want iheartsf
to be
this logo, this original logo, all of it. I want that to be what everybody's buying and everybody's. I mean, I love the Giants.
It's attractive.
They're great, but you know what? We're here to rock their world.
You got the heart of the city.
I definitely, and the quality's there. It's all local, and I love it, dude. I love it. So here's where it starts, and we're gonna go on to. I think it's 6 and Mission. It's right around there. We're going to go on and we're going to see one of these SROs. And I really want to kind of show you where my head's at and why I think the way I do when it comes to these particular buildings.
Okay.
Let's go.
Hello.
All right.